I'm for more than 20 years in spiritual practices. And when for the first time I heard about the practice Who Am I decided that yes, finally, this is the golden mine. I won't need any other practices anymore. For about 3 years I was practicing this afterwards, but I could not find any changes. Then I decided to get down, one step down, and I heard about the practice I am, like inhale I, exhale am. But as well, I didn't feel any changes. Now I'm doing more logically than intuitively. And I made a conclusion that probably I should start with a simple concentration technique, like for instance in Vipassana, following your breath, feeling your steps when you walk. So the question is this correct? You can do whatever practices that which gives you a state of peacefulness, contentment, but there is nothing simpler than the I am practice, because this is your natural state to be. And probably, maybe you think that this is something special. You need to find it. Probably you are looking for some special states, which you think that something is going to happen with you. But to be who you are, this is the most natural, the simplest. It is what you are. Are you aware now that you exist, that you are alive? This aliveness, this life in you, it is what you are. Nothing special. At the same time, this life is that magic which each one is trying to find out. What is this? The mistake of spiritual people, because they constantly search for some spiritual states, like spiritual drug addicts, because in meditation very often occurs some kind of higher state, blissful state, which makes you kind of drunk. And this doesn't allow to be aware of the simplicity of what you are. When the awareness of your nature happens, then you're astonished by the simplicity of this. It's just not a state, it is something which has always been and always is, and everyone is that, but are not aware of that because looking into another direction, looking at the senses, emotions, sensations, at all the distracting factors which distract you from yourself. And in meditation, especially in some subtle spiritual states, you still have the feelings, the sensations, they're more subtle, but all of these are the states of mind. Spiritual world is beautiful. Spiritual practices, they are. And the people who practice, they get into the trap of the spiritual world. It is so beautiful to be in there, so they forget why they have entered the spiritual search. It's nothing simpler than that you are now. And this knowledge is inborn. Even when you are a small child, you don't know what is this world. But you had the knowledge of life, of aliveness, of I amness. That's it. Nothing else than that. The body has been changing. You grow up, But the feeling I am is the same as in the childhood. It's not a sensation, it's the knowledge. It's knowing yourself as beingness, as I am. Every living creature, even the ant, is aware of being alive, is aware of being existent. This knowledge is in each of every living being, animals, insects, even plants. When you get old, the body is going to change. Your ideas will change. Your concepts will change. Your character may change. Emotions, feelings, everything is changing. The only thing which is unchanging is the knowledge that I am. It's inside of you. And you're trying to find something which gives you some special experience. All the saints are pointing at the simplicity of what is. That this is very simple. It's closer to you than your own breath. But what points on that? So don't overcomplicate it. Be what you are and be aware of it. Don't go into thoughts, feelings. Don't believe to the illusional. Believe to what is true, what is unchanging. The truth which no one can make doubtful. It is what you truly are. But this practice is so simple that people complicate it. You are something which looks through your eyes and is being aware of this world. Look at that which is aware. What is the source of awareness? The consciousness is watching, and the mind is given its interpretations. It's given the names to the objects as being existent, but before the mind, the first thing is awareness. So simply be aware. The awareness. You can do practices for a long time. It's interesting for the mind. But in order to know yourself, you don't need practices. Understand this. The mind has a kind of nature that it always searching for what to do. It's boring to be by itself. It's boring to be the source of awareness. It wants to grab something and to make up some games for itself. And the game of spirituality, it is quite interesting for the mind. Because the ego understands that it's doing something very important, spiritual, and it keeps you in some frames. And the more importance they put, the more it is interesting. And this is the nature of the mind. Once you will see that this is just the game of the mind. Then, consciously, you can stop playing and look into the source where the game is arising. And to be in that source of awareness. But the simplicity of that, it distracts you. It doesn't satisfy the seekers. They want to discover something unusual. Okay, the next question. What should happen so that the mind cool down and stop searching? The mind will never cool down. Its mechanism is like that it's gonna always work as a mechanism. Same like the heartbeat, same like the blood circulation, the breath, it happens naturally. So the mind as a mechanism, it doesn't work. The question is, do you believe the mind, or you are more interested to know the source from where the game of the mind is happening? If you have interest to that, you will not look at the game of the mind. You will always look into that from where the awareness of all the mind games happens. Now, one more question.
So, does that mean if we sit in that space and give up questioning, the answers naturally arise?
Yes, of course.
I couldn't understand the question.
So I asked if we give up questioning,
Yes.
sit in silence, do the answers to the questions just naturally come into silence.
If the question natural comes,
The answer will come.
the answer
And
to the question, the awareness is
not questioning,
yes,
sit.
You can't stop searching, because if you already have this inquiry from your heart, so unless you get aware of your true nature, you won't cool down. It's a paradox.
I think that we came to the earth also to be active, we just perceive the world with our senses, and we discover, oh, we could do this, we could do this, we could do this, and that's why so we need the activity. I think it is not possible to leave the activity in my life as long as I am in the body. I need to use the body, I need to move it, I need to do something.
Yes, of course. Don't go against of your nature. Life is given in order to live it. But one thing, you live in it consciously, or you are in oblivion. You believe this illusion, these games of the mind. You get lost and you start suffering from that.
Yes, it is like in the learn process. We need to repeat the same thing. And as long we repeat, we can, for example, if we like to try to drive car or to play instrument, in the beginning we are much more conscious when we start. We try to observe everything, every movement, we are very conscious. But when it becomes our custom, when we repeat so many times, so it becomes custom. So we just like free in that. We don't so much to observe it, maybe, or something. Yeah.
Поэтому не смотреть на
To look not at the games of the
первое
mind, but to
время
look at the source, it requires in the beginning some efforts, because you need to learn to train your attention. But then it is natural for you, it becomes without any effort.
Many people speaking like that. but it is, I know it is very difficult to hold this experience of the source. We are just, we touch the source, we just can stay connected for very short time, and then it will push out. Yes.
The inertia of the mind is very strong. It's like a spinning wheel. It already has the speed of running, and to stop it, to break it, you need to put an effort for some time. You need to search, then come back. And at some point, this wheel will break and it will stop. It won't stop completely, but it will be just the mechanism.
I understand.
I understand. Thank you very much.
It's good with this momentum, so it's need to turn again and
The mind is constantly searching for some impressions, pictures, and this we have a habit from the childhood to look at these pictures, and it requires a certain effort to move the attention onto the awareness. Only with your inner aspiration to know that you can overcome this inertia. Is it true that unless one has some desires or interest in something material, one can't be aware of the source? If the desire is very strong, the desire to realize something in this world, it will distract you from knowing. But if the desires are just the ones which are necessary for living, they will be just naturally going on. We can't get rid of all the desires. We need to provide for some elementary things for ourselves, but the truth is you should not go into the cave to discover the knowledge. People who have a strong aspiration, they can practice in life by realizing themselves in the business, in some creativity, and at the same time being aware of whatever happens to them, just as the game of consciousness. But the request to inquire is so bright in them that they do everything in order to see the source by this contrast. So, to sit in meditation is comfortable, it's convenient. Just try to be aware of the source in the action, during your job, when you are talking, when you are doing something. Meditations are necessary, but the more important is the knowledge, is to have the courage to live with this knowledge in life, not just sit in meditation and be aware. It's wonderful, yes, but when you're entering the world, you have a contrast, difference. Then something is uncovers, which is known by the saying samsara is nirvana. You are aware that this world is nirvana. It's not somewhere in some distant worlds. It is here. It is in this manifestation. Everything is nirvana. You cannot escape to anywhere. And then you have acceptance of absolutely everything which happens. There is no conflict between you and that which is happening, because you are being in the source itself. It doesn't matter externally something changes or not. You're in the meditation or you're in the walking. You are the unchanging, which has always been here.
What means samsara?
What means samsara? I don't understand. Samsara is being in the mind. It's endless because the mind is offering you different pictures so that you switch on, look at them, have certain feelings, emotions, give energy to all these things. This is the samsara. When you say samsara and nirvana is the same. Mind is also consciousness, but manifested consciousness. So when you understand what is the mind, you do not reject it. It becomes nirvana for you as well. It becomes the game which you can play. But you do not depend on it. You do not suffer. There is no suffering in it. It's just a game. It's same as Shiva is playing. There are no problems in this game. The problems are when you believe in the game as the truth. I understand.
I hope I understand. It is like, how can I say? Like it will be very easy.
It will be very easy. So I cannot. If I face any problem, I won't be angry or scared with the problem. I can play with that.
I can play with that.
Problems won't disappear, they will be there. But as you will be knowing yourself as who you are, you will know that these problems are just the game of consciousness which doesn't touch you, doesn't touch your essence. This is why suffering, there is no suffering in it. Suffering disappears at the moment when you are aware what is truth and what is false. You won't believe the false because you know this is not true.
So we have a question from our friend.
I have a question from another friend.
What is the wisdom inside? How to get this power through meditation?
If you have a desire to get insight, the mind will picture inside. You will have certain sensations, higher states, even some samadhi kind of states. But know that all of this won't be true. It's gonna be the pictures of the mind. All the states are the states of the mind. Even the highest and subtlest states. It's quite easy to get them. While you learn to calm down your mind, you can enter certain states. But is it going to satisfy your heart?
You can do self. Guru is required for this. Guru. Guru is Guru.
It's necessary. Yes and no. You can achieve it on your own if you meditate for a long time. But all the states, they won't give you the full satisfaction. The states will be changing. They will come in and go in, passing by. And you will endlessly race for these insights for all of your life and won't get the full contentment, because the full contentment is only given by the going beyond of all states, for being aware of your true nature.
Two years ago during meditation, it sent me on a journey of trying to work out what that was all about. And I read about Taoism and acupuncture and Vedanta until I worked out what it was that I saw. But I still don't know why I saw that out of all the millions of things that you could be shown. So my question is, do I stop searching for an answer to that and just leave it alone? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can you say again slowly?
Yes, okay.
If you still have interest to this area, don't go against of your nature. Probably you have some healing powers which you have to realize. No need to stop this in yourself. Just bring awareness into this. Be aware from where comes the source of all these experiences, from where the awareness of what is happening to you is happening. Okay, the experiences are happening. If they happen to you, then who are you? The one who is watching all this.
Because it started happening again since I've been in Tiru. But it's like I stop it from happening because I think I don't want more things I don't know the answers to.
Just trust your heart. Where it's leading you, go there. Heart knows better than your head. If you have a sincere wish to know this, go there. But you are in Tiruvannamalai not by an occasion. Probably you have to combine this. You have to have this experience, but not lose yourself in it. There are no problems to get realized in life the way life is flowing through you. Someone is an artist, someone is an architect, someone is a doctor. Life is realizing itself through everyone. If this all stops, nothing won't be there anymore. This is the creative energy, the divine creative energy. It manifests through everyone. Allow this to flow. But the point is not to forget yourself, not to lose yourself in it. Simultaneously aware in whom all this is happening. This is the secret, that's it.
So some people born rich, some people born poor. Is it due to the previous birth?
Probably yes. There are some karmic prehistory, but first of all, you have this life in order to break the samsara circle, to get out of this karmic
We can say so.
circle.
We can say so. Yes, there is a kind of karma and there is a causality. But what you have only this life, you have this life to try to go out from this circle, from the circle of death and birth, and so try to use this life to go out from samsara, from the reincarnation cycle.
How to go out?
Not to search for some states, but try to find the source of all the states, to get aware who you truly are, who you are beyond all the states, before the names, before the forms, either you are rich or poor, man, woman. Go beyond the duality and to know who are you truly.
If I do good karma, is enough. If I do good karma, good things in this birth,
Probably you will be more lucky in the next life if you do good things, but you can't escape from samsara unless you are aware who you are. The only good thing that you do truly is to be aware of your true nature.
how to find that one?
That's the usual question.
It is difficult to find that source, or
Actually, it is present in you, very prominent, as the presence I am. You feel yourself as you are, as life. You are the one which is aware. That awareness is the source. But the problem is that the mind distracts you all the time. You're looking at the mind and not at the source. The source is so close to you. It is obviously here. It is you. Ramana Maharshi given advice to inquire who am I, and not to give an answer from the mind, but sincerely look, who am I? It's enough one time sincerely to have a look, and you can be aware of that. Don't wait for an answer which comes from the mind. Just look into the source of the awareness. There won't be an answer as a word or as an insight or as some fireworks, some special states, but at a certain point you will have clarity of the awareness of who are you, and I am the one which I am searching for. I am that source which is Satchitananda. Consciousness, being, and bliss all in one. You are going to be aware of that. It's easy, but the difficulty is that your mind is concentrated on the external objects. And in order to turn the mind inside, You need some time to stay in meditation and be aware of who is meditating, where the awareness in meditation comes from. Look for the source of consciousness. Who are you? Who am I? Who is aware?
I need to find the soul. The soul is
Soul is something which is which you are aware as something separate from you, because whatever you can see and feel are the objects in their relation to you, and you should find the subject, the subjectivity, return to the source from where the attention itself is moving. Forget all the concepts about the soul, about any other spiritual ideas. Just look sincerely inside there.
If you want to find the soul, you will find an object. Object. But actually what you can find will be the object only. But when I'm talking about the source, I'm talking in the place where this subjectivity starts. And it's not like you can find this source. It's more like you will become immediately this objectivity. You will reach the place where kind of it's not an object actually. It's a different thing.
It's a kind of feeling.
Feelings, sensations are being aware of by someone who is aware of the feelings and sensations. Feelings and sensations, emotions, thoughts, they are all passing through you. But who is aware of all of them? There is someone who is aware. You are consciousness. You are not feelings. You are not emotions. You are the consciousness itself. Be aware of the consciousness and be that awareness. Awareness happens now. In meditation, or you are sitting at a table, or you are taking food, or you are walking, the awareness is always present, which is aware of this life, the life which is being lived through you. So find this.
She can say any mantra or to take positive energy, to take concentration by doing meditation. Any mantra.
Any mantra which feels good in your heart, you can repeat it. But mantra works that it makes the mind to get distracted a bit, because mind has a job. It gets the job to repeat the mantra. Mind cannot be without a job. It should either think something or imagine something. When you recite the mantra, the mind gives attention to these words and it is occupied, like you've given a candy to the kid and it is occupied with that. It doesn't disturb you. So at this moment, when the mind is occupied with mantra, you can see what is the source of your attention. Who is the one who is aware? Even the reciting of the mantra, aware of the body, aware of the sensations.
Concentrating on
the yes, yeah.
Concentration will be there. This concentration, it's important to look not at the words of the mantra, but the one who is aware of the words of the mantra.
Maybe to be aware of this special quality, we need to develop more the hearing, just not to focus something outside, just to go to be like to hear is different quality, yes? With the eyes, we're just focusing on one point, and with the hearing, we are just making totally different perception, which is much more deeper. I don't know.
Hearing is being aware of by someone.
Yes, this is actually what I like to say. That the hearing is a different quality of perception. With the hearing, you are able to go more into deep, or to go more into how to call it, like you are going into the deep, and it will be like new space open. You know, I don't know how to explain it. Yeah.
Yes, of course. In hearing, you are entering the space of the feelings, heart, openness, but it's just a pathway to the awareness of where the source is. So don't hang in this, go deeper. Hearing, seeing, feeling, sensing, these are still the instruments of the mind. Who is using the instruments?
He is the highest one, and we cannot catch it really.
Yeah,
We can only be like, present in this, on this instrument, When yeah, for example, someone is playing piano, and so we could recognize if this music is so beautiful, deep, and alive. So, and I can recognize it with my ear, actually, yes? Yeah, and someone can play only from the see the notes and playing like that. So, and the music will be also, the sound will come, but the sound won't be very deep and very, I don't know this word, how to explain.
Do you mean if there's no emotion?
It is not emotion, it is a deep concentration of the sound which I produce. If the player has the concentration of the sound, if he is really in hearing and not in doing, in connection with his deep, in a deep state, yes, so we will recognize it, we can hear it.
Yeah, that is true. There are some people who are able to transfer their feelings. Their mastery is so refined that they can transfer to others the feelings while they are performing. But if you are aware of the source, you are going to perform music by not sharing your personal emotions, but by sharing the divine music itself, the Satchitananda through the sounds.
Yes, this is what I like to say.
Yes, this is what I like to say.
Because actually the question is where we found, how we can catch the source, how we can understand the source. That's why I was speaking about it.
This source is you. It is not something external for you. It's your own subjectivity. Hearing happens only because there is someone who is aware of hearing. The consciousness is aware of hearing, and then you can hear this with the sounds. If there is no consciousness, you cannot be aware of the sounds. So who is aware in hearing, seeing, feeling? It won't be possible without consciousness. So initially, first of all, you are the consciousness which is now just pouring through your eyes, seeing, just now looking. This is what you are searching for. It is not somewhere far away. It's just here. But you mix consciousness with the mind, because next to consciousness, mind is moving all the time. So then you have this mixture. Where is the mind? Where is consciousness? You should understand that consciousness is first. The mind is serving the consciousness, not vice versa. First you are aware, and then the thoughts are coming.
Connected all the time.
We are all switched on all the time. But are you aware of your connection all the time? In order to be who you are, you don't need to always put an effort all the time. Naturally, you are aware once, and then that's it. Once you have solved the riddle, you cannot pretend that you don't know the solution of the riddle. You know it. It is something which is beyond time and space. You cannot be in time, either conscious or unconscious. This is something being in time. When you are beyond time, there are no steps forward or backwards. It is just being aware of as one. Only mind can be in time, past, present, future.
In and out. The mind is in and out.
That's why, while you believe in the mind, and your attention is completely in the mind, it as if comes and goes. Once you are beyond the mind, it's beyond time and beyond space. It can't go, it can't come, because it's the eternity, not the eternity in time, but initially.
I have noticed the more time I concentrate on, since I've been here in Tiru, things are so easy, and everything I want seems to just come to me at the right time. I'm hoping it's the same when I go home.
Because you are relaxed here and connected to life itself. When you are at home, you are connected to life itself as well. It doesn't go anywhere from you. Your mind pays attention to that endless problems. And once attention goes there, you feel separated from yourself. This is why when this in-tuning is happening.
Things to do.
Yeah, things to do. Problems will be always. Everyone has problems. But the question is where your attention is. Are you absorbed completely in problems and you believe in them as really existing? Or you're aware of the source and then you know that the reality is only the awareness. Whatever passes the awareness is just like a movie.
I'm starting to make that shift. I'm starting to make that shift to not following.
Once you're aware of who you are, you don't need to study it. Study the psychology of the personality, how it jumps from one problem to another problem. There will be always problems, insecurities in personality. You cannot work them. Once you jumped into this eternity of yourself, into the abyss of yourself, then everything will be ready. The question is, do you have interest to study through the mind? You can do this endlessly. But you can throw the mind and you can look into the source, like dive into the source. Probably I repeat myself, but why? While I know this advice, I should look into the source, I should look inside. I know every master says this, and all these 8 years, I'm trying to find the source. Why can't I find it? In the satsang, I was inquiring who is feeling, who is hearing, who is seeing. The answer came I. So I was asking, who am I? And what do you want to find there? It seems that if I find this, it will be very clearly felt like I found it. But I'm not getting any answer. And the mind doesn't stop. And it keeps on asking this question again and again endlessly. Why the mind doesn't get quiet? Because the mind is expecting an answer of something tangible. Mind works in a way that it either must see something or hear something or feel something or sense something through feelings or emotions. The one we are talking about is beyond any feelings, emotions, thoughts. Buddhists call this emptiness. Why? Because you cannot grasp it, you cannot feel it, you cannot taste it. It is nothingness. It's just being aware as just the consciousness. You are aware of yourself. That's it. There is nothing else. It is simple, understand? It's too simple for the mind. It doesn't accept this as an answer. It needs something to taste. You are inquiring, who am I? And then stay in silence. By the question, you are pointing attention to the source. And you are already in it, so just be in this silence. But you will keep on running away because you want to have something tangible, but it is nothingness. In this transparency, be in it. In this unsatisfaction, be in it. The mind is not satisfied. Just sit and keep on looking. Be concentrated on that which is. Don't run anywhere with your attention. Keep on staying. And do it regularly. At a certain point, it will be unfolded in you with something bigger, something which you cannot feel, but it will be a depth which will be unfolded in you more and more. How to feel? First, you need to just be in it. Everybody is waiting for an insight. Everybody wants to jump there, but you need to work on this. You are connected in your heart with yourself and you are being in it. And you are not asking for something. You are like, dragging the God with his beard. Give me, give me, give me that. God can't give it by your demand. It's grace. It's coming at the moment when you have proven your devotion to it. I'm speaking like surrender. Yes, it's surrender. Yeah, not ready to surrender. You're jumping. You are ready to surrender when you're just sitting patiently and have gratitude just for the beingness. Just you are in the heart. This element of gratitude, being in the heart, is absent in many people. That's why there is no movement further. Open the heart. Open the heart. So it is in the next. Okay, I won't go deep into this now. Tomorrow. Okay.
That question you had at the beginning, you asked us who is looking. Ever since you asked that question, and I've concentrated on who is looking, I've felt an incredible stillness. Is that the beginning of it?
Yes. This is not that which I explain. You cannot feel it or sense it through our usual senses. It's your usual awareness which happens all the time in life. You are always aware in life. And now you are the awareness. The awareness itself is being aware. And you are thinking about it. But the thoughts are secondary. Awareness is primary. Being that, there is nothing more. There is no more secret to it.
Thank you.
It's the only one that is source. We can find it only in our heart. Yes, it's not possible to find it here or here. So it is actually here. Yes?
It doesn't have any place because it's beyond space and beyond time. It has no place. It's everything.
Can it happen also outside of my body, or can it happen only in the connection with the body?
You are searching somewhere outside of body or inside. There is no I outside, there is no inside, it is nowhere.
For me, it's inside. I experience it through the connection with my body.
Through the deep connection with my body. It's everywhere. We are trying to understand through the mind.
It's everywhere.
And anywhere, и нигде. Как-то нигде.
And nowhere.
And anywhere.
Nowhere. It's nowhere. Paradoxical.
It's a enigma.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Tomorrow we will continue.
More questions.